Hi everyone, so today we're making Efo Riro. This is an updated version of the Efo Riro recipe that I already have on this channel. But instead of using Shaki like I did previously, I will be using spinach. This recipe is one that you do not want to miss at all. But first of all, have you subscribed to my channel? What are you waiting for? Support me, I beg. Please, just subscribe, please. Anyway, let's get on with the recipe. First thing first, we will be boiling our meat. In here I've got some cow foot, tripe, and for the first time ever, cow reed. I never use cow reed, I don't even eat it. This is a body, but this video was ordered by one of my clients, so I need to follow every single, guideline. Anyway, I've also got some goat meat and some beef. And this I will be seasoning with some chopped onions. I will also be using some Scotch bonnet pepper, just the one because it's quite hot. This is for flavor and as well for just a bit of heat. And I've also got some salt and bouillon cube. Oh, I almost forgot to add thyme. Yes, I will be seasoning with some thyme as well. I'm not using curry powder because, like I mentioned in my okra soup recipe, I do not like to use curry powder when I'm working with palm oil, but please feel free to use whatever seasoning that you want. I just typically like to use salt and bouillon cubes. So this I will leave to simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. I won't add any water because I need the meat to sweat out the raw moisture, and I also need the spices as well, the salt and bouillon cubes to penetrate deep into the meat. And after 20 minutes, as you can see, there is quite a lot of liquid in the pan. That's fine. And to this, I will be adding some more water, just enough to cook the meat. At this point, I will be testing for seasoning, and mine needs a bit of salt. So I'm just going to be adding just a bit of stock cubes and then cover and leave to cook until they soften. Into a separate pan, I will be adding my cow skin, that's pomo. I'll also be adding some stockfish. And this I will season with some bouillon cubes, salt, thyme, and some chopped onions. And now I'm going to stir this thoroughly and then cover and leave to cook until they soften. Once the goat meat, beef, and the shaki are soft, I will transfer them into a bowl, leaving just the cow foot in the pan because that's going to take longer to cook. To this, I will be adding the stockfish. The pomo is fully cooked, leaving just the stockfish, and rather than cooking them in two separate pans, I'll just add them together and then cook until soft. Now this step is optional. You may choose to use your meats once they're boiled, or you can fry or grill. I will be grilling mine for about 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, but it's up to you if you want to use it boiled. And if you're grilling them, just make sure that they're not too dry, that they're just a bit brown but still very juicy on the inside. And now I'm just going to set this aside. And for my peppers, I will be using 3 bell peppers, 1 paprika, 3 chilies, 2 Scotch bonnet peppers, and some onions. Now, using my food processor, I'm just going to coarsely blend these peppers. You can also use a blender if it's got a pulse function, or you can choose to blend fully. Now, anytime I'm cooking with spinach, I don't like to proper blend my peppers, and that's because spinach is quite soggy, and by the following day it's just going to be extra soggy as well. I don't know if you get me, but it's just very watery. So the best way to make it hold up is to coarsely blend the peppers, but it's up to you, it's your preference. If you prefer to do the full blending process, then that's fine. Just do whatever you're happy with. And this is the sort of texture that I like, and I'm just going to blend the rest of the peppers. Now we're on to the vegetables, and as you can see, I've got several bundles of spinach here. I've got about 7 bundles, and can you believe I used every single one of them and it still wasn't enough? The way this thing shrunk, Anyway, so I'm just going to chop them, but not too finely because it's still going to wilt. So one needs to be very careful, otherwise it just won't look attractive at all. And some people love to use part of the stalk. I don't use so much of it, but it's up to you where you want to stop or if you want to use more of the stalk. And this is the sort of size that I like, and I'm just going to do the same thing with the rest of the bundles. And after chopping, I'm going to blanch the vegetables, and to do this I will be adding some hot water. And I'm going to wash this thoroughly to get rid of all the dirt and debris. You may choose to do this twice depending on how dirty the leaves are. And after doing that, I'm going to take this to my sink and sieve. And at this point, I'm just going to quickly add some very cold water and ice to the leaves, and this is to stop the cooking process. The moment you add hot water to vegetable leaves, it begins to cook. So the only way to stop it from cooking for that is to quickly add the cold water to it. And now I'm going to take this back to the sink. Another benefit of blanching is it allows you to squeeze out more water from the leaves as opposed to if you use just hot water or just cold water. And this is what it looks like after it's been drained and squeezed. It's almost dry. Like, I've been able to squeeze quite a lot of water from it, and this is perfect for me. I will be using some mackerel as well for this recipe, and with mackerel you don't need to do too much with it. Just season with salt, that's all it needs. You don't need to do too much, honestly, because it's quite flavorful on its own, and you really don't want to interfere, you know, with that signature taste. So I'm just going to rub it all over with some salt and then fold over and secure with some toothpicks. And this I will be placing in my oven for about 40 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. You can also use a halogen oven. Some people prefer to boil or fry, but this is how I like mine. And here is what it looks like after grilling. Beautiful. And I'm going to set this aside. Now it's time for the main event. It's time to cook the Efo Riro. Here I've got a pan on medium heat. Once it heats up, I will add some palm oil, and once that heats up, I will add some chopped onions and fry this for about 2 minutes. Please don't fry your onions for more than 2 minutes, especially if you live in the UK, because our bell peppers are really sweet, and if you fry the onions for too long, that's going to make it even sweeter. And now I'm going to add some locust beans. Fry this again for about 2 minutes. And then add some crayfish powder. And this I'm going to fry for about 30 seconds. Please do not fry for more than 30 seconds, otherwise the crayfish will burn and it might ruin the taste of the soup. But I love to do this because it sort of intensifies the taste or the flavor of the crayfish. And now I'm going to add the blended pepper mix and mix thoroughly. And after mixing thoroughly, I will be adding some bouillon cubes and some salt. That's pretty much all you need for your Efo Riro. Honestly, you don't need to do too much. Please don't add curry or thyme. This is fine. At this time, I'm going to add my stockfish. It's still not fully cooked, but that's fine. And I like to infuse that flavor into the Efo Riro from the start because it sort of intensifies the flavor as well. But it's up to you. You can choose to add it now or you can add it later with the meats. And after mixing thoroughly, I'm just going to cover this with my splatter guard and leave to fry for about 20 minutes. Please do not cover your pan with a proper lid. This is because you need the steam to escape from the pan. You don't need it trapped in, otherwise the stew will boil rather than fry. So if you haven't got a splatter guard, please leave it open, it's fine. And after 20 minutes, as you can see, the quantity of the stew has reduced a bit and the oil has settled on the top of the stew, and this is what you're aiming for. At this time, I will begin to add in the cooked meats. I know some people are wondering, all this meat for this soup, this is what the person wanted and this is what I cooked. So please let everybody just cut their meat according to their pocket and according to their diet. This was requested and this was delivered. And at this time, I'm going to add some soaked smoked fish and also some smoked prawns. Mix this thoroughly. And after mixing, I will cover again and then leave to simmer for about, say, 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I will begin to add the washed vegetables. And after adding the vegetable leaves, I'm going to stir this to combine thoroughly. And then I will finish off with some crayfish powder and also some of the grilled mackerel. And after mixing thoroughly, I will leave this to simmer for just a minute and my soup is ready. See how beautiful and gorgeous it looks. Honestly, you really want to taste the soup. This soup is all that and so much more. And that's the end of my recipe today. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm begging once again, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.